Like my story?
No, not your story, a story. Since you can't keep your mouth shut long enough for me to read my paper, tell me a story.
I don't think I know any stories.
You don't know any stories?
No.
All right, I'll tell you a story. This is a newspaper, right? It's 90% bullshit, but it's entertaining. That's why I read it, because it entertains me. You won't let me read it. So you entertain me with your bullshit. Tell me a story right now. Go.
Yo, what's up, fight fans? We are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I'm always your host, Edwin, where the all fights start. All right, all right, all right. Let me know that you hear me loud and clear. You hear my mic good, everything. Hold on, let me check this audio for myself. Right. Couldn't hear the sound effects. Okay, got you. Got you. So I got some. Okay, somewhere I have the. Oh, yeah, I got them right here. Good. Boom. Everything. Okay, so now check this audio for myself. Where the wall fight start?
Round one.
Let's go. Let's make sure we got that popping. Got some. Hold on. Okay, somewhere I have the. Oh, yeah, I got them right here. Good. Boom. Everything. Okay, so now check this audio for myself. All right, where the wall fight start?
Round one.
Let's turn that up. Let's make sure we got that popping. All right, let's turn that up. Got some. All right, so all checks out now. Oh yeah, I got them right here. Just gotta make sure we coming back from vacation. So we get everything done and get everything up running right. Let's turn that up. We're gonna have a lot to talk about. Let's make sure. Hold on, let me turn this off now that we got that settled. Let's turn that up. Hold on. Okay. Okay. Let's lock it in. Let's lock it in. What's up, fight fans? How y'all doing out there? I was on vacation. I was on vacation. Shout out to all the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day. Usually around this time for me, it's my birthday and Father's Day. They're like 2 days apart. So I get a double fiesta. Siesta. That's where I was at. Yo, in fact, we went to like this like this the rides and stuff, this park, right? But it also had like a water park attached to it. So it was both. It was all these rides and stuff. Um and then we was on this ride called Splash Mountain. But we get on a log and we in there and we going down. And of course, right, in the heat of the moment, when you're going down like the biggest slope, all of a sudden they snap a photo of you. And they get you in that awkward moment. Of course, we come down. They got me. They got me. Right? And wifey says, let's buy that one. Yeah, I'm sure she wanted to buy that one. Yeah. Look, I'm going to share this with you guys. Check this out. This is how they got your boy. Listen, bam, going down the mountain. Look at them. They done snapped the photo of me. See, if they told me that there was gonna be a photo snap, that you know what I mean, I would have posed for the photo, but they got me. You know, I was ready for the other ones. Listen, I had a great time, man. Got on these bumper cars, like all kinds of bumper, like boats and waters with water guns and stuff. It was amazing. It was great. It was great. I had a great Father's Day. Shout out to my wife. She made it happen. And it was a great time out there. I had lobster, well, it's one of the few times I get to eat lobsters because she doesn't eat seafood. So she let me indulge. And boy, did I. Yeah, man. I even had a bowl of mussels and shit. Yeah, man. It was just a great Father's Day. This one. I hope like all of you guys had an amazing Father's Day. Tell me where you guys are watching the show from. Shout out to all the dads, in boxing and stuff. And let's talk some boxing, guys. I should have put inside the title, don't forget to hit that like button for me. I should have put in the title, right? Uh Recap. Because I actually want to recap a lot of the fights that just took place that unfortunately, and one fight in particular with my boy Keith Cologne. Unfortunately, his fighter pulled out at the very last minute and the fight fell through, and he wasn't able to get the fight. He tried to rebound quickly and get a fight on a Boston card. They're not trying to fight this kid. Why would they? This young prospect Keith Cologne, 10 and 0, 10 knockouts. Who wants to get in the ring with that? But they're going to have to. Eventually, they're going to have to. This young man, Keith Cologne, look, sometimes you can think of this as like, man, this was a big waste of time. Training camp, got nothing out of it. I invested money into this, probably out of his own pocket, right? But maybe it's not. It kept you in shape, didn't it? Kept you sharp. And it's on to the next one. My words, my advice to the young man, stay in the gym. These promoters and matchmakers have been doing this for a very long time. They know when you were scheduled to have a fight, then you went and laxy daisy a little, maybe drank a little bit too much, killed in the party too long. Then they rush you into a next fight, and within like 20 something days or a month or 2 months. Let me tell you something. They say it. Even some of the greatest have said it throughout history in boxing. The ring will always reveal the truth. If you miss one training session in a fight in camp, or you don't eat right for a few days, it's going to show up in the ring, isn't it? And that's just 1 or 2 sessions. Imagine if you did that and your body fell out of a shock from all that training after 30 days of not conditioning or keeping up with it, maintaining the motor. It's going to stall out on you. And you being young, you're going to think you're strong. Nah, I could do it. I'll bounce back. Bro, I done take 30 days off, come in the gym, walk in, whoop everybody's ass in the gym. Yes, you're the man in there, not on fight night. Fight night preparation when you fight in the ring, can you emulate that in sparring? The lights, the cameras, everything on the line, flashing, the flashing of the cameras, the everybody, the expectations, your family in the front row. Everything's on the line then. Nerves, intensity, that comes into play. You have to know how to manage yourself. Starting that engine back up, and this guy's been active and you went and fucked around, that can be crucial in a young man's career coming up. My best advice, stay the course. You can't control outside forces, but what you can control is yourself. You're responsible for your career. From 20 to 30 is 10 years. That's a short time. Look at me. At 30 years old, what we're told, life's over, you're old. Hell no, it's not even starting. You'll have time to root, you know, you'll have time to to splurge on what you made and how to manage it better. Take the money now, say no to the parties, stack it, ignore everything. All that will be there when your career's over. When you're in it, stay in it. To any young fighter out there, that is my best advice. And I'm talking to all of them. You understand? So, like, his fight fell through, but, at this point in his career, look, when I made this boxing show for educational boxing purposes, to also to talk boxing. I made this platform for everybody to have like a voice, but also to try to change the narrative to these young men and women that are coming in this game and thinking that, everything is like, you have to be big. You have to say the most disrespectful things, the bling bling. You got to be in every party. You got to let the athletes know that is a facade. It's a part of an image of your career. Don't live and stay in it. Floyd Mayweather did it best. He portrayed the guy that partied, drank, smoked weed, threw money. That's what you saw. But he trained like a true warrior. He knew that that was the perception of that. He attract certain fan base. And with that fan base came a lot of envy and jealousy, and haters also came with that. He capitalized on that market. This. That's what he did. But Floyd understood it. AB tried to live it. AB actually thought that what you were doing, you had to be real about it. You couldn't be fake about throwing money, flashing drinks, and putting them down. AB had to drink the drink. AB had to go in the room with the girls. AB had to do the stuff he did. And then he said to himself, I'm not real. See? He didn't understand. So in this world, when we got our young men and women, nah, I'm going to try to stop that. You don't got to live like that. You can live comfortable within your means, stay focused. Because I believe that the Puerto Rican boxing fans, we're waiting. We've been waiting for a very long time for one of us to come and step forward and grab that torch. Xander right now, June 27th in the Barclays Center in New York City, he's going to try to do exactly that against Jaron Boots Ennis. Jaron Boots Ennis needs no introduction. We can sit here and tear apart both of these boxers' boxing resumes, who they fought and what they did. But to be honest with you, none of that's going to matter. None of it. None of those guys that Xander fought was Jaron Boots Ennis. And none of the guys that Jaron Boots Ennis fought was Xander Zayas. So here we are. We're literally, if we were back in the Western times, you, me, all of us, we'd be on the side where the saloon was, the barbershop, in our cowboy boots, a little dust ball rolling in the middle of the street. Ain't no pavement, just a dirt road and shit. We got our horses in the back because it's about to go down. It's about to go down. Xander's on that side. Ron Boots Ennis is on this side right here. I see Xander standing there like this, little chivita like that, in all his glory. 2 6 shooters right here. Of course, they're gold with pearl white handles, of course, right? But like that, Ron Boots Ennis is over there. He looking slick as fuck. You know how them Americans do it. Anything we pull off, they got to look flyer. You know what I'm saying? So he's over there in some fly tight shit, like some cowboy shit like this. He got a toothpick. He like that, you know what I mean? Ready. And no, he warm up just to warm up. Shoot the wings off a fly. You know what I mean? Deron Boots Ennis. You know what I mean? Listen, we over here like this. Someone going down. Yo, listen, someone is going down. You got the guy over there, he works in the funeral parlor. He's over there measuring the casket. He got the photo people with the big bulb, with the thing over their head, snapping photo. You know what I mean? Yo, if this would be a fight in those times, that's what it would be. That's what it would be right there. You know what I'm saying? Yo, because it's about to go down. Man, listen. Ah, look, I was talking to a gentleman this evening, right? This morning, just before I went on the show. By the way, come on, people. Hit that like button for your boy. Oh, that's hot still. Yo, I was talking to my boy this morning, right? And I was saying to myself, right, hold on. I was saying to myself, yo, like the thing about this Jerron Boots Ennis and Xander Zayas fight in particular, which I think that a lot of like uh, on like a lot of spectators, onlookers, boxing enthusiasts, coaches, I heard that Greg Hackett, Two Tone, and Mill City had a video, but I haven't had the chance to check it out, not even a little bit of it yet. I've been kind of on the go. So, but I heard about it, like people in my chat and everything had talked to me about it and stuff. And look, let me tell you guys something. Everybody on that panel except Greg Hackett, because I respect that dude because he's actually from Philly, right? So it's come on, man. Like that would be tough for him to be like, yo, Xander's gonna be come on, man, right? But it's not that Greg Hackett is biased or anything. It's just that he's more familiar with Jerron Boots Ennis than he is with Xander Zayas. He just might have seen Jerron Boots Ennis, and when he looks and views at Jerron Boots Ennis' work rate, you can hear him talk about that, his work ethic, what it takes to be that kind of fighter, you know. Um, so he's been around that. And I respect that. That's why I respect what Greg Hackett had to say about the situation. Because, yo, it's not bias to believe in your guy. That's not being biased. That's because he's from Philly. He legitimately believes Jerron Boots Ennis is going to perform, work this way, everything. He's not trying to sell it to you. You understand? Like, I can imagine Mill City, and look, I haven't seen the interview, so I don't want to say too much because I really don't know their both approaches or how Two Toned approached it. Like, I'm gonna go out on a limb on this one, right? And I'm gonna say that Two Tone said that Jerron Boots Ennis is gonna win. Would I be, over speaking there? Okay, come on, right? So you're up there with two guys already favoring Jerron Boots. Cool, no problem, no problem. And I believe that I said all of that to say this: that there are multiple platforms, streaming platforms, that are covering this particular fight. Why? It is one of the biggest fights we're going to get this year, I believe. 154, those are the big boys. That's where speed at the 105 and power from the heavyweight division meet at a weight division where the human body is the most dangerous. That's why they call them the glamour divisions. 130, 135, 140, 147, 154. And the heavyweight division because of, default is the fucking best belt, right? Okay. Those are the glamour divisions where the human body with speed and power meet perfect balance. Best fighters in the world fight in those weight divisions. Anything too far up or too low down really doesn't get garnish a lot of attention unless you're really special and you're Naoya Inoue and you can give life to divisions left or to the right. That's how powerful his star status is. So when you get a fight like this in 154 pounds, middleweight division, Marvelous Hagler, those were like Those are big shoes to fill. Is Jerron Boots Ennis on the verge of being the next Marvelous Hagler? You can't put them in that I shouldn't even said their name in the same sentence, right? Forgive me for that. The Marvelous One. Forgive me. Um, but Jerron Boots Ennis has an opportunity here now, doesn't he? When I talk about both fighters, and I talk about this fight here in particular, let me be quite frank with everyone here. I have a boxing channel. My duty, I believe, first is just speak what I think I see. Doesn't make it the truth. See, you are in the right to your own opinion. I'm not trying to change your mind, right? And I said all of that because before I get into explaining what I feel about Jerron Boots Ennis, and what I feel about Jerron Boots Ennis in this moment, brother, it is your time. This is your time. Everything they have criticized you for, all the fights you did not get or didn't have, or for whatever reason, everything everybody believes you are. June 27th, that's your time to shine. As soon as that bell rings, Jerron Boots Ennis, you better go to work. You better go to work. Everything. Think about all those late nights, all that sacrifice, Jerron Boots Ennis, getting out of those Philly streets, your father locking the door, not letting you hang out with the homeboys, everything you ever missed out in life, brother. Everything. It must have felt like a prison sentence. Will it all be worth it, Jerron Boots Ennis? Show me your work. Because make no mistake, this is Jerron Boots Ennis' night. That's what he feels. That's his moment. And I acknowledge it. I bring you both stories, both sides. And I'll bring you Xander's. Just stick around. Jerron Boots Ennis has fought his way to this position right here. Just recently, negotiations fell through with a fight with Virgil Ortiz. That when anytime you put a microphone in front of that man's face, he has a lot to say. But he never has. I don't know what happens when it's time to sign the contract. He suffers this. He has a rare disease. It's called arm arthritis, where he can no longer hold the pen. And it's not his fault. Poor Virgil Ortiz. He just got to get over that. Being able to sign the paper. They say everything but let's fight. And in this boxing world, listen, all these stars, when you have a sport that is basically driven by one ego, me, I'm the best fighter in the world. You're supposed to go in there and prove that you're the best. Am I right? So when you get up there and you become the best, all of a sudden you start fighting no one. Why? Because that shit got to your head. No one is your equal, Hank Davis. Then all of a sudden, you don't want to share the ring with no one because you don't want to put money in nobody's pocket because fuck them. I'm Tank Davis. I'll do what I want. And out of spite, he doesn't want to share. You need a dancing partner. You need to bring cool killers out on the dance floor. And Xander just did that. Jerron Boots Ennis, look, he managed to get 2 belts at 147 pounds. No matter what you say about the way he got them, Terrence Crawford did not honor his mandatory. IBF took the belt and gave it to Jerron Boots Ennis. Whether you want to look at it as a strip or a vacay, or that the fact that Terrence Crawford had other plans Terrence Crawford did not want to be the one to give Duran Bucenis his first loss. Why fight your countryman, an American, just to prove that you can beat him? Yeah, I'll go up and fight a great Mexican and get even more rewarded. Terrence Crawford. So Duran Bucenis and Terrence Crawford, yes, they were at different points in their career. So Duran Bucenis was awarded the title, but he did go out there and defend the belt. He did. Duran Bucenis has a title defense against the IBF because he fought Stanionis for unification. That's a title defense. Yes, it is. Then he gets both belts, vacates the belt, and goes up. Yes, Lima, I'm not going to say was the best boxer. He was very exposed in the fight doing amateur shit. I think that he had a better, when we talk about, hype resumes and shit, boosted up. Lima kind of comes off like that. The way Jerron Boots Ennis really like put him apart in the first round. And many of us didn't feel like he didn't even give Jerron Boots Ennis a test to see that, we want to see what Jerron Boots Ennis looks past 6 rounds. What's going to happen? You understand? So Jerron Boots Ennis definitely, he's thinking about himself, changing his family name, becoming a legend, multiple division world champion. By the way, this is for 2 belts. So in one shot, in one fight, he'll be a unified world champion. Jerron Boots Ennis is shooting for the stars. Make no mistake, Philly will not show us any love. And I don't expect it. Shout out to Philly. Shout out to all the fighters that's come out of Philly. Rich boxing culture. Just because you have boxing culture, that does not mean that that all comes to you. All that means, Jerron Bootsen, is you're at the plate. Show me what you're made of. That's what Philly's saying. You can't just get Philly respect by word of mouth. Not in Philly. Now when you got fighters like Beha, hell no. Hell no. You're gonna have to earn it. In the Philly boxing community, they're not gonna grant bullshit. So Jerron Boots Ennis, here's your night, here's your stage, here's your moment. I wish you the best. But there's a flip side to that coin. There's a flip side to that coin, and we're going to talk about this. Listen, I've been covering boxing for a very long time, right? But I've been watching it even longer. Over 30 years, I've been watching boxing. I have watched and witnessed many fights. And I've watched fighters come and go in the sport of boxing. But when I see a talent, sometimes everybody can't identify Tom Brady. Everybody couldn't identify Michael Jordan, now could they? They couldn't see them for their greatness. And no fault to those type of people. They went out there and performed. From the moment I set eyes on Xander Zayas, I was like, that was nice, kid. That was nice. So I remember walking away, then watching him again, saying, wow, that was impressive. Walking away and watching another fight, realizing that with each fight, he was getting better, correcting some mistakes, some bad habits. He would later relive it. And once again, as a good student, go back and correct those mistakes. Xander came up in boxing, I wouldn't say fast, by no stretch of the imagination. Xander Zayas has been battle tested. He has ran through all these tournaments. He has sparred with the who's and even champions of the world today, like Shakur Stevenson, just to mention one of the guys that Xander fought. Xander quickly had a growth spurt and came up from 126 to 154. And Xander, ever since then, he has lived in this weight division. I'm going to tell you right now, Xander's well versed and well schooled in the American slick style. In all the tournaments and all these fighters that he has came up with, you hear the Schofields talk about him. Yeah, everybody knows Xander. He's been in and out. He's probably sparred against the who's. He is no stranger when it comes to the Jaron Boots and his style of boxing and how to control that shit. Xander is a remarkable student. He's a great boxer, and he's going to prove it on June 27th. Xander knows that Jaron Boots is shooting for the stars and everything, but he doesn't care about that because Xander is fighting this fight for much, much more in his head, I believe. He's obviously not fighting for the money. He's fighting for the legacy. And he carries the pride right here on his shoulders. He welcomes the challenge. He doesn't shy away from it. He's walking towards the fire, not away. Xander is with every step all the way up until this point, he's been trying to show the boxing world, I am him. Every tournament with every victory, turning pro, top rank, signing him at a young age, starting his career at 17 years old with top rank coming out of the gate. The matchmakers, the scouts, they all saw talent. They knew what they were looking at, and I did too. Xander has been criticized for being rushed along in the sport of boxing because he's only 23 years old. But you got to step back and you got to ask yourself, how in the world did a 23-year-old get himself here? You got to ask yourself that question. He must be good. He got here at 154 pounds, the glamour division. One of them. He's a 23-year-old kid. He has two belts. Not kid, young man. Sorry about that. That's me being an uncle, right? And I'm telling you, how did he get here? You mean to tell me that Jaron Boots you're revered as the phenom. You're revered as the next great fighter. And your biggest fight is me? Jaron Boots has not accomplished what Xander Zayas has accomplished. Was Jaron Boots a champion at 21, 22, 23? A unified champion by 23? No, he wasn't. Xander Zayas is a lot further in his career than Jaron Boots was in his career. If we matched them up age by age, no. No. What did it take him when he was 26, 27? Jaron Boots to get his first belt, and it was handed down to him, by the way. He didn't fight a champion for it. Well, we're gonna give him credit for it. We're gonna have to give him credit for it because it's not his fault. Terrence didn't fight you. Terrence didn't fight you. Vacated or got stripped. That's really not Jaron Boots' fault. So he got the belt from the moment he got it. Respectfully, so you got to acknowledge it. You got to. So, plus, I don't have a problem with give him acknowledgement because when Xander beats him, you got to remember he had two belts at 147. So I don't want to hear that shit. Xander Zayas understands that this is his moment. This is his time. This is his time to break away from all the criticism and all the boxing gods like the Ring Magazine and Box Rec and all the people that put out the message that Jaron Boots in fact, is the best 154 pounder. Not the guy with two belts because of his age and because of what we think he's too young in his career. But at the same time, if those same people that said that about Xander was to just answer me this one question. Have you ever met a person or seen an athlete that was ahead of their time? He must be ahead of his time. You can't even see it. He's only 23 and he's here. So you might not be able to identify him. You're just not wrapping your head around this. And you're saying, you know what? This is going to be Fernando Vargas versus Felix Trinidad. He's too young. I don't think so. I don't think so. You ever see that one kid in class? You ever be in school? First day of school, you meet all the new kids. You get in class, you check out the flag immediately. You know what I'm saying? But you just sit down, you play it cool. I'm a Baghdad, don't worry, right? Then you look to your right and you see that Bambalang looking kid, right? Like the one that don't look like he belonged there. Bro, we like in the fifth grade, you got a full beard. You're big like this. You're my age. You ever see that? Some of us age and grow into our man strength and our body quick. You ever get that cousin? He's like this. He go on summer vacation, come back. He's taller than you now. He's like this now. You're like, what the? What's happening? Like, and you stood the same size, right? Hey, apparently that's exactly how Xander's growing. Yo, like it's not even a year going by. It's like fight after fight. He's like maturing right in front of you. He's getting faster, stronger. Honestly, I think Xander might be a bit too much for Jerron Boots Ennis. We always get, and we've been seeing of late, the lighter boxer coming up and beating the heavier guy. Keyshawn Davis did it. David the Monster Benavides did it against Zuldo. Um, there's a few situations that the lighter guy came up. It's going to paint you a picture but their styles make fights. And those lighter guys that came up were way more skilled. Like they were like, it was too much of a gap. Well, what happens when you get the best of that division? See, these guys, I said David DeMont because he fought the champion. How much better can Judo was a world champion? So how much better can you get, right? So, but with Keyshawn, he fought Jermaine Ortiz. He wasn't a champion or nothing like that. So it's the level. Like, can you do it at the highest? That's why David the Monster Benavides' win is so big. That's why that win is so big because that was impressive. That's what Jerron Boots Ennis is going to have to do. Plus, the equipment changes from 147 to 154. The gloves change from 8 ounce to 10 ounce. Have I ever seen Jerron Boots Ennis with 10 ounce gloves in the 9th round, 10th round, 11th, with a guy attacking him with boxing skills like Xander? And if we're there in the fight and Xander's still standing in front of Jerron Boots Ennis, I think Xander's going to take over. He's more seasoned in the weight division. Xander. He's battle tested in the division. He went 12 hard fought rounds with Abbas Baru, and he controlled that man. I'm not saying that Abbas Baru got the athleticism of Jerron Boots Ennis. Now remember, when you saw Jerron Boots Ennis flashy, he knocked the guy out. The fight ended. Have you ever seen a Jerron Boots Ennis pull that off for 12 rounds? He didn't do it against Karen. The second time, better performance. Yeah. But I thought Karen was a little flat. He didn't take as many risks as he did in the first one. Because fights take a toll on you. They take a toll on you. So, look, I don't think that Karen got better pressure, better footwork, or better game plan than Xander. And if Karen was able to survive Jaron Butenis for 24 rounds, he didn't win many rounds. But Jaron Butenis didn't knock out skinny ass Karen. Now go look at Karen's size and look at the size of Xander. If you're punching and you caught Karen with flush shots, Jaron Butenis, I just don't see it. Then you're gonna say, oh, but when Jaron Butenis moves up to 154, he's cracking harder. He's punching harder. I'm gonna tell you right now, you put Lima in the ring with Xander, he's gonna knock him out in one round. Just like Jaron Butenis did. He'd do the same exact thing to him. Yes, he would. He'd put that man to sleep. Lima's not on the level of Abbas Barul or fucking Perez, Chino Perez, is he? You're gonna say that Lima is better or on the level of those two guys? No. Xander would have packed Lima up in one round, bro. He couldn't, bro. He can't be in the ring with Lima. I don't know. So I'm not sold for Jaron Butenis on that. I'm not sold on Jaron Butenis' power. Okay, you knocked out Lima. Brother, don't you know that Xander has been in the ring with all these 154 pounders? He's been being cracked, punched by big dudes. Kino Perez was bigger than Xander. Abbas Baru was stockier. He's been hit by big punchers. And you mean to tell me you didn't have enough pop to put Karen? Get the hell out of here. I don't see it. Xander's been hit hard. You're not going to just come up one weight division and be able to hit like a fucking heavyweight. It's not going to happen. What do you think Xander's going to come in on this fight on fight night after he makes 154? What do you really think he's going to step in the ring? That man might come in there 190, bro. He just might. And I don't think that Jaron Butenis' flashy style or his little bit of pop is going to save him, to be honest. That's my opinion. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. Really doesn't matter what I think. What really matters is what's going to happen on fight night. That's what's going to count, isn't it? And I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna read some of y'all messages. And I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say. I see all facts in the building, Rich in the building. How you doing, Isaiah in the building? I'm just someone in the building. Angry white guy, salute in the building, brother. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Hey yo, hey people just got to stop it and put respect on both fighters' name. It's the biggest fight in the box. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. This is one of the all facts. This is one of the biggest fights I believe of 2026. It has the potential of being a classic after it's all said and done. Let's see how both men perform on the night of the fight. I think that Jaron Boots Ennis is a hell of a fighter. I think that Xander is a hell of a fighter. Um, I believe that both fighters can get their respect. We can have our moments of boxing 101 shit talking. Never be shy to shit talk or talk if that's expected in the sport of boxing. If you don't have the stomach for that, there's always golf. I hear tennis, figure skating. I hear is a real. You might want to start watching that shit because if you can't just understand passion, shit talking, and not take it personal, then I don't think you should be arguing back and forth on for anything. You always got to understand and respect your rival. Understand it. Yeah, my guy's gonna fuck your guy up. Your guy ain't shit. Your guy's a bum. Blah 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 blah. That's boxing 101 shit talking. When it gets going, when I see you over here, it's on. Yo, you lost your way. You lost your way as a fan. You're letting your fighter down yourself. Look at how you're acting over a guy you probably never even met. Remember what being a fan entails. Support of your fighter. Shit talking is cool. Don't remind yourself, dial it back. Dial it back a little when you see yourself getting too wound up. You understand? And you're losing your way now. And that's what my message to all boxing fans. So, with that being said, Ron Boots Ennis, you in a lot of trouble, son. You in a lot of trouble, son. You in a lot of trouble. Listen, let's talk about it. Look, I know there's going to be a lot of Jerron Boots and his fans that going to hear this right here. There's going to be a lot of sad stories, a lot of slow singing, flower bringing. You know what I'm saying? Because Jerron Boots and his, you're going. So, Xander, listen, let's get the shit talking started. Xander's knocking him out. Yeah, I said it. I said it. I said it. Xander knocking him out. Yo. I'm standing on it. I'm standing on it. I think Xander's going to pack him up 9, 10, 11. He's still there 11, probably 12. I don't know. He might pull a fucking Brandon Figueroa. Now he knocked out Nick Ball in the 12th round. He might be one of them. I don't know. We don't know. But what I do think, he going to stop him. I think after a while, Xander's forward aggression, constant pressure is there's like I think that Jerron Boots Ennis is gonna fend him off for like the first 6 rounds or something. He's gonna get into trouble. I think in the second or third round, he's gonna get hit with a good shot from Xander. He's gonna see he's gonna have to respect Xander's power. Then Jerron Boots Ennis is gonna he's a gambler. He's a bit of a gambler in the fight. He's gonna go and he's gonna try to come in. He's gonna have success. He's gonna hit Xander. But he's gonna notice that Xander is gonna take these punches quite well. He's either gonna roll with him or he's gonna catch him flush. But when he looks, Xander's gonna be right there in his face. Xander's gonna keep pushing a lot of pressure, and Jerron Boots Ennis is gonna find himself using his legs. He's gonna be doing a backward shuffle, and it's gonna look slick. He's gonna be trying to float and then stop suddenly and burst forward. That's what Jerron Boots Ennis is gonna do. Xander's gonna cover up at this point, try to sneak a couple shots, and Jerron's gonna be doing this for 2 to 3 more rounds. After that, Jerron Boots Ennis is gonna make a decision. He's gonna stop moving his feet, and he's gonna try to stay in the pocket with Xander. At that point in the fight, Jerron Boots Ennis is going to gamble, and he's going to fail in his gamble. That's where I think his mistake's going to be. Xander's going to hit him, and he's going to realize Xander hits a lot harder than he thought. Jerron Boots Ennis is going to tag Xander over the top with that straight right. He's going to come with it. He's going to hit him, and Xander's going to take the shot and hit him. Boom! Because he's going to be big enough to take it. It's going to hurt. But I'm not saying he's going to walk through Jerron Boots Ennis' power. No. Xander's going to have to pay the price. But I think he's just going to be that tough, that big enough to take those big punches from Jerron Boots Ennis. When he gets hit with them, these shots might even wobble Xander. because they're going to be hard punches from Jerron Boots Ennis. I just think he's going to be heavier and strong enough, and bam, he's going to take the shot and he's going to get his. I think Jerron Boots Ennis hasn't been hit by a guy like that. And then after accumulation of rounds, after those exchanges right there that I'm talking about, and both fighters right around that time, and we start stepping into the 9th round, I think Jerron Boots Ennis is going to be in a situation he's never been in. He's never been in there. And I think he's going to come across. You see, he's had arguments with his dad in his corner in multiple fights, Jerron Boots Ennis. So you can see his team can be disrupted. You can see that father and son are not eye to eye sometimes. You hear instructions yelled out from the corner, and Boots is like, don't tell me what to do. I got this. Uppercut, knockout. See, I'm the man. They're not giving each other credit as one. It's like student and coach are arguing with what each other's doing at times. At times, they can be in sync. I'm not saying, and I don't want to make it sound like Jerron Boots and his dad are always arguing. No. But they've had their moments where the team was disrupted, and I saw it. And it was apparent. Not taking shots at Jerron Boots Ennis or his dad. I'm pointing out what we saw. So you can't deny that. So when you see these kinds of things, if Jerron Boots Ennis gets in a situation, is his team going to stay together? Or are they going to argue? Is that going to play a factor when you're in a situation in a fight you've never been in? Please do me a favor. I'm trying to get this video up to 100 likes. Can you hit that like button for me? And these are things I ask myself. You understand? A lot of these situations can play out. I know one thing for sure. Both of these fighters, they're the best the division has to offer. They're the best. Having the name on your resume, Jerron Boots Ennis, the name Xander Zayas on your resume, you shared the ring with that kind of fighter right there. Both these men are still fairly young in their career, and they have a lot more legacy to tack on either way, win or loss, for both men. Although I think that Xander is a bit more younger and he would survive a loss better than Jerron Boots Ennis, I believe. But boxing is a kind of sport is driven by blood. Even if Jerron Boots Ennis is to fall to Xander Zayas, I swear to God, Jerron Boots Ennis can get a title fight after a loss. What? What you say, round one? What do you say? He can get a what? A title fight after a loss? And that's preposterous. Didn't Teofimo Lopez was offered a title fight after a loss? Didn't Ryan Garcia get a title fight after a loss? Didn't Rolly get a? They've been doing it. Don't sit here and tell me that after you lose, you can't fight for a world title. I'd say bullshit. Jerron Boots Ennis suffers a loss. You would think, oh, now his career's over. Next fight announced. Fighting for the title. That, in fact, this is a possibility. This is Xander's last fight at the division, 154. He might not stick around to get that third belt, and that hurts. That hurts. I watched this for the legacy, man. I want to see a Puerto Rican fighter get 3 belts, period. This just might be Xander Zayas' last fight. And if he moves up and Jerron Boots Ennis loses, who you think they're going to give a crack at his vacant belts? Dun, 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 dun. Shit, if Ed Hearn wants, he can make an in-house fight. Josh Kelly, fight Jerome Tennis. For some weird reason, Sebastian Fundora says, Jerron, I'll fight you. I don't know why he would do that, but maybe if Xander beats him, he would feel like I could do it and fuck up and lose to Jerron and shit. Don't know. I don't know. But I don't rule anything out in boxing. I've seen a lot of shit. I've seen guys lose, get title fights. They offered Tio that fight. He denied it for the title right after losing to Shakur. Ryan got a title fight after losing to freaking Rogan. He fought Mario Barrio. And the list goes on. Shit, I'm type them in the chat. I know you guys know some fighters that lost fights and right after that got title fight. Come on, man. What'd he say? I put $100 on. He put $100 that 6 through 9 Xander's going to sleep. 6 through 9, $100. I'm not a gambling man. I don't wager. I don't, you guys, all my fans know me. Round one, I don't promote gambling or anything like that. I've had made bets, of course. And I'm not afraid of a little $100 bet, but I'm also not like gonna sit here in front, and be like, oh shit, one guy called me out on it. Now I'm forced to bet. No, I'm a goddamn man and I just stand on my own values. I just nothing against gambling or anything. You're your own person. Don't think that I'm taking a shot at gambling. People like, ooh, no, 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 no. If I ever came off like that, have fun in life. Do you? It's just gambling's never been my cup of tea, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? I never saw the concept of betting money in the hopes to winning a lot of money. I already had that money in my pocket. My job is to get that money up, but not on a gamble. My father always told me only bet on things you know you can win. A sure thing. You're just not thinking, and son, he'll tell me, and you're thinking, go to the get because it's the quickest way. You think that is the quickest way to lose your money. Wait a second, leave that money right there. The right little moment to present itself. What do you got there? You got that? I'll give you $20 for it. 1,000. Bam! Now I got my money. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I was brought up thinking different, So I don't gamble per se, but, yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yeah, man, I'll take that $100 bet. Like some of these suckers that try to gamble against me, I'm not gonna say they name, but they said let's put $100 on it. I actually went to the fight. They were there in the building when the fighter lost. Their phone mysteriously stopped taking the call, and then I got a text. They fell asleep in the chair. They'll catch up to, but never paid the $100 or anything. Those kind of fans. I've already had that happen to me. So, we're not gonna bring it up. We're not gonna bring that up. You know who you are. You know. So, and if you know, you know. Right? If you've been around one and you went by through that and on the show, you would know who that is. But anyway. Oh yeah, listen, guys, check it out. So my boy Mark, I got back from vacation, right? I got a message from Mark. Mark's like, yo, bro, code. I didn't send you the Nail in a way book from the Inside the Fight. I bought this one from the hotel outside lobby concession stand type shit, right? Right? So I'm like, what? So he sends me a book from Japan. By the way, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Naoya Inoue and Juncho Nagatoni fought in Tokyo, Japan. One of our um, Round One Sports Talk members and subscribers went out to Japan to the fight, and he's from Australia. Mark, shout out to Mark, and he sent me a book, which I thought at first was the book that was inside from the Tokyo Arena. So he tells me no. So I went and looked up the book he sent me. I said to myself, what did you send me? Right? You see that right there? You see that right there? Sports right there? Okay. This book, in fact, is like, if I had to put it in its perspective, like a book for America, you would kind of like the Sports Illustrated of Japan. This is what this is. What this is, when I looked it up, is an actual in-depth, like story of both fighters. And it's obviously in Japan because the book's from Japan. And it got some moments in history of their fighters when he cut his eye. It's got like, and it's both. It's his story, and then the book completely changes to Junto. This is all Junto's story right here. It's all Junto right here. See? So when I realized what the book actually is, it's in Japan, and it opens from right to left like that, right? So when I found out what the book was, I said, Mark, why would you do that? Why would you entrust me with said book? By the way, it's the only copy that survived coming out of Japan, right? So this, when I announced the amount of money I thought I would sell the book for, I said $3 billion. Did I say that? Strike that. $8 billion. Castles, of course, 2 dragons. I need sharks with lasers and now crocodiles with like metal teeth. Starting bid, and I'll consider it. You got to get that first. I may consider. I don't know now. Now I think he sent me the book. Now I got to dedicate my family line like some temple, like Indiana Jones, where they like had a guy. He would live in the temple for his entire life, protecting the cup of the covenant, like that. We're gonna have to have a guy on guard throughout our family. No one knows about this in our family. It's like top secret. We're gonna have that. I'm actually gonna call the Museum of Arts and Integrity. You know how they have like the Mona Lisa in that bulletproof, fireproof, like glass, like frame. Maybe I could tell them about the book. They'll take the Mona Lisa out of there, hang it up on a wall somewhere or something. And we could put the book in there. We'll put the book inside that frame, right? And we'll like, I don't know, I'm going to have to hire 24-hour security, switch its location every now and then. Yeah, and I think it would be safe. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God. Why would you send me this? Like, now the quest begins. I'm protecting the book. Only certain eyes. I guess you would have to be there. Are you looking? Yo, hey, stop. Man, oh man, that's beautiful. That is amazing. What an amazing fight. What an amazing night, man. And this book illustrates the whole night, the fighters. You know, it's awesome. I just don't read Japanese. Or do I? Or wait a minute. Translator glasses. Yeah, I will be wearing them at the Xander fight so that I can be filming everything. And they translate Japanese. So I literally can look at the book. Yes, I think I'm going to sit down tonight. In fact, I forgot all about that. I'm actually gonna get an opportunity to read this book. No bullshit. Yo, fucking technology, bro. I just got these yesterday, and I'm gonna go to New York, so I'm gonna be wearing them. I'm gonna be recording everything with the eyes and my phone. So I figure I'd take some pictures and shit like that with these on. But as I got the book in my hand, I started thinking these translate languages. So I actually can do that. So I'm gonna tell you how this book is. Put these on. We'll be reading the book, said book now. Oh yeah. I think it's only for special braille. You have to you got to drink sake while you read it. You know what I'm saying? Yo, thank you, Mark. Man, it's still awesome, amazing. It came from Japan. Awesome book, bro. Awesome book. You did great. You did fucking great. And the poster. Oh, we got the poster in the room. Yeah, if you, yeah, hopefully you guys checked out the other video and saw the poster. Really happy about the book and the poster. We got to get the poster up. I got to get a frame. Yeah, I'm right now. I'm hiring 10 kids in a small village to start to create the frame out of just hard work and sweat and love. You know what I'm saying, for the frame, the sacred frame. Yeah, so there's procedures. To get to the right one. If I see it, and these guys worked endlessly. Not good enough. No, go in the fire. Start over. Yo, it's gotta be perfect. You know what I mean? Yo, nah, bro. But we gonna get it. The frame, the poster. I don't got a frame for it. It's a different dimensions and shit. But I've seen them before, so I just gotta get out there, get one, move some stuff around. Because we got the Naoya Inoue metal one. That one right up there of Naoya Inoue. You can't see it. It's metal. That's a metal sheet painting. That one. So I want to get the poster, put it up and shit, respecting champions. The reason why I have some of these fighters on the wall, it's not particular that it happens to be that I am a fan of these boxers, yes. So that goes without saying. But it's some of the legends that paved the way for the next generations, for our fighters to be the fighters that they are becoming. Make no mistake, Ali painted the way for Mayweather. Mayweather painted the way for the Terrence Crawfords of the world and the Saul Canelo Alvarez of today. You know? So it's just a respect thing more than just saying, oh, I got the guy on my wall because he was undefeated or anything. No, no. Ali, arguably, he was such a big figure in boxing that if you were to take that picture like a Jordan symbol and you just had it solid white or all solid black or red, and it was just the image of him standing over Sonny Liston, you would recognize who that is and the moment without seeing the image, wouldn't you? That's how strong the legend of Ali was. You see, he is just, no matter what you think of him, and Floyd, he's just one of the most popular boxers. So when you see Floyd, it's not that, oh man, I hate Floyd. Okay, cool. No problem. No problem. But it's just paying homage. These fighters on my wall, and you will see Naoya Inoue on my wall, it's paying homage and giving back to the fighters. It's not more or less bragging that they're my favorite fighters. No. Because interesting enough, I have way greater fighters. It would be weird in some ways to you guys. Some of the fighters particularly I grew real fond of. Of course, Felix Trinidad is like up there. Hector Camacho, yes. But fighters like um Arturo Gotti, Manny Pazienza, know, maybe it was because they were on my side of the world, but I just thought they were so interesting as fighters. You know, they were really like them go forward type, do bloody fights and stuff. Of course, Mike Tyson, he was just in my time. Mike was just different. And that was just a different era all by itself. It was just the rise and fall. Mike was just a crazy roller coaster. It really was his career when you were in it live. That was like, I think I can honestly, I think that was the first boxing match I tried after watching Mike get knocked out by Buster Douglas. Because I was old enough to understand, who he was. He was Iron Mike. Nobody was gonna beat this guy. He was an animal. And it was like my fucking hero. Like that was a crazy moment for me. It taught me a lot about pulling back from these fighters, not investing so much of myself, so much connection. And that back then there was no social media. It was like when you saw him, you saw him. Or if he came up in like TMZ or sucking fucking sorry, on a TV freaking pause on a TV like one of the who was it, like MTV or some shit? What was it back then? Like the biggest um TMZ, um I forget all the shows, but that's when you would see Mike. You saw him like in that altercation where he had with Mitch Green, where he punched Mitch Green buying that jacket, Don't Believe the Hype, I think it was, right? And it had like the Public Enemy patches or some shit, I remember. And he hit Mitch Green. Now, Mitch Green was like the leader of a gang in New York. He was like a street dude. He had like one foot in the street, one foot in boxing. So Mitch, like Green, he wasn't nobody to fuck with in the street. He was soldiers, like real soldiers. Like, and he laid that man out. Like he mashed his face, bro. Mike, he was a he was a bad man, bro. To see him get knocked out like that, bro, that shit. And that's when, like, I think in that moment, that's when I learned in boxing. Just shit talk, be invested in your fighter. It's gonna sting a little, but on to the next. For me, I cover boxing. I'm never gonna stay. My channel is not based on one fighter. If Sabir was to fall, Naoya Inoue was to fall, then they lost. Okay, I gotta cover the next fight. On to the next. These fights are exciting to talk about, but I will never be in a box. I will never let anyone put me in that category where nope, just because I was wrong in one fight. What the? If you think I can call every fight, shit, I'd be a gambler then because I can't go wrong. Who would actually think that? Because you're wrong about your prediction in a fight. That means what? Not unless you say some ridiculous shit. If you say some ridiculous shit and you have the ability to be an influencer, meaning when you talk, people are listening, right? To any content creator or influencer that I find out and I see that they say some ridiculous shit like, if Xander wins this fight, I'll stop commentating boxing. Because it'll mean I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm so confident that Jerron Boots Ennis is going to win that if Xander was to win, I will stop. If you go and say some dumb shit like that and I find out about it, I'm going to clip it. I'm going to bring it up here. And if you decide to go on just one more time for 10 seconds, I'm going to play your video every day until everybody hears the fact that whatever you say out of your mouth is trash. Not even even if you're right, even if after the Xander fight, you were never to have another hiccup, you can pick every fight on every card, it still wouldn't mean nothing because your word as a man means nothing. And if you can't stand on business and back your own what you say, that means you're full of shit. That means I can't depend or rely on what comes out of your mouth because obviously you're a renegger. You renege on what you. So why should I believe, or why should any of the fans subscribe to what you're saying? You're not a man of integrity. You're not a man of of morals, principle. You think you could say the slickest shit out of your mouth just for clicks, views, and just come up the next day and go, "Oh, I was just bullshitting, guys. Let's cover another fight." No, no, no. I thought a man was only his word and his bond. Your word as a man. If your word is no good, then nothing you ever have to say from that moment on would have no value, no weight. So I would encourage the content creators, don't be that guy. You don't have to go that far to try to sell a fight. You don't have to put your integrity as a boxing analyst, commentator, just to prove that you can call a fight. You would actually go on a live and say, "No, I'll stop commentating. That's how much I know." You have to go there to sell the fact you know what you're talking about and pray that your guy, if he gets knocked out, that's your credibility forever. Go do something else, but not YouTube. Because according to you, you would stop. I don't want to even see you as a surprise guest on anybody's platform. Because virtually anything you have to say from that moment on, and I'm telling you, you can be correct and right in everything you say from that moment on. Still don't mean shit because your word ain't shit. The most noble thing that person needs to do, stop streaming. You said it out your mouth. See, here's the thing. We're not holding people accountable for what they say. But on the street, we do. So if you're going to have enough balls to act street on a mic, talk street shit, and portray that image, but when it's time to pay up, you don't want to pay the piper? Please, if you ever see anyone out there saying that shit, clip it, send it to me. Send it to me. I already heard one or two of them. I just got to go find the video. I'm going to find it. But if you know what I'm talking about, clip that shit, help me out, make it much easier for me. Send me the video. Because we don't got to do that. I don't have to say anything ridiculous like that about a fight in order to sell the fight to you. All I have to say is I think he's going to win. This is how he's going to do it. Good luck to this guy. Good luck to that guy. Let's watch the fight. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? But you got to be ego driven. You got to really drive in your point. And you got to put your credibility on the line and hope it pays out. And if you lose, you're still what? What are you going to try to take a week off and then hop back on? Is that what you're going to try to do? Just lay low for a while. No, every time you come on, I'm going to subscribe to your channel till I see not one subscriber left. But play your shit and fucking rewind every day. Cause like, yo, some of these dudes is phony baloney. You gotta do that much. Remember, I'm not the one that said that. You did. No one told you to say that. No one said, hey, say it. No, no one. You had to be that guy. You had to be that guy. So okay, let's see. Let's see what you're made of. Let's see what you're made of. And the best results is that Jerome Boots Ennis saves them. Straight up saves them. It's a yeah. He probably could win, and I'm in agreement with that. Shit can go real bad for Xander in there. Could it could, yeah. But I'm smart enough to know that. Why would I have to say some ridiculous claims just to sell you on the fight? Why would I do that? You see? So some of these channels are so desperate for views, clicks, likes, that they're willing to say anything. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's why I respect some of these guys out here, some of these smaller channels too. Shout out to All Facts, my boy. You know, All Facts be saying some crazy shit too, though. Might have to get slowed out, but no. Shout out to my boy All Facts, man. That's my dude. Right? He be saying some crazy shit, but All Facts is not ridiculous with it. You know what I'm saying? All Facts keeps it within the lines of shit talking. That's where he be. He be biased as fuck, but there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm like, all right, cool. And just being biased. It's not crazy. You know what I'm saying? But All Facts is definitely one of the guys in the channel that is promoting this fight. You know what I'm saying? He be saying some shit, so he gonna get you to say some shit. That's promotion. That's promotion. He's doing his job. Sometimes he say some crazy shit. Like one video I heard him say something about that the Philly Puerto Rican is not like the Puerto Rican from the island. Maybe I gotta go back and watch the full video and forgive me for this, right? If I take this the wrong way, right? And it's not really a wrong way. I think he was trying to say that the Philly Puerto Rican is much more dangerous or more aggressive or something than the Puerto Ricans from the island. All Facts, were you trying to say that? Is that I'm not sure if that's where you were going, but if you were saying that before I can get your response, what if you were saying that, that could be further from the truth. I'm not sure if you ever went to Puerto Rico, All Facts, or if you went there as like seeing your family and you went and hung out in certain places or whatever. Well, you're not going to see the wolves in Puerto Rico, for one, until the night the sunset goes down. What you're going to see in Puerto Rico first, probably if like you go out there and you see it, you're going to see like the first wave of like, these like, I wouldn't say they're like fake gangsters. They're dangerous. They're like the ones that are kind of like do some shady shit, like steal your purse or you're out of your car, or you know you'll see that wave of Puerto Rican first, and then you're like you're druggy and this and that. You'll on the surface. That's what you'll see first. Then when you go to the caserio, it'll still be veritarily like looking like a ghost town, so to speak. 6, 8 o'clock. Once the music starts bumping, like you see cars pulling up, all of a sudden you see like these scrub dudes come out. And it doesn't look that intimidating. Just wait a second. You'll see the wolves start coming. You'll see that age group, that young age group from like 19 to like 27. When you see those boys come out, they dangerous. When you see like like the reckless ones, the fucking wind up dolls. You'll see those midday kids, those kind of dudes. They look tough, but not tough. Like I'm not really scared of them dudes type shit. Just like in Philly, you got your first wait. When you go to Philly right now, you're gonna see some doping Puerto Ricans. You're gonna see a couple of them on the block doing whatever. You're even gonna see the dudes in the doorway. They look tough, but they're not really that intimidating. Wait until the owners of the block pull up. Wait until their guys come in. It's when you see the most dangerous part of Philly. Those are the wolves in Philly right there. When you see them, it's a different kind of thug. You'll see that like the regular basic street thug. Sometime in the day out, there'll be like two or three of them, four of them. But they're younger. They're younger. They don't control the block. That's like the first line of defense. When the night settles down, I'll tell you what Philadelphia's where you at. That's when the wolves come out. Now the Puerto Rican in Philadelphia, they're a dangerous Puerto Rican because they're Philly's like this. Like you can get and they like it's so corrupt. The police are looking the other way. Ain't nobody coming to save you. You in it. You in it. And they got enough money for some shit that don't make no noise. Real quiet, silent shit. So you can get packed up fast out in Philly. You'll be in the trunk of a car and fucking somebody's fucking crushing car thing, and they're gonna make you a box like this big. So Philly, I see the Puerto Rican, but the Puerto Rican in Puerto Rico, they're monsters. They'll make Philly Puerto Ricans look like Boy Scouts. These dudes is chopping you up, shooting you in the face 100 times. These dudes are working out in them fields. Cops won't be out there for 8 days. Your body will decay in that field. Oh, and somebody from law enforcement to be in the fuck out of here. Bro, they will hack you up. They're different. They don't have no break. In Philly, you do shit, but there's the law. There's the snitch, there's all that stupid shit. Motherfucker, there have been Puerto Rican legends that ran around Puerto Rico being chased. They're writing songs about them. Still killing, running around Puerto Rico. Ain't no cops coming to get. When they catch up to you, they catch up to you. They riding on a horse out there like that, running up, jumping off, fucking cutting your head off. Like say, you gonna talk about a fifth because he got a gun? Are you? I hope you didn't think that. Them real Puerto Rican. I don't know if you've ever seen that shit, my dude. Them Puerto Rican dudes is not like Philly dudes. They'll pack those Philly dudes up in fucking coolers with tape. They'll be out in the fucking ocean, dumping their bodies in the fucking ocean for the sharks. Fuck out of here, bro. You out of your mind? No, Philly dude. Listen, that's like that would you know what I'm saying? Like, we're just Americanized, Poppy. Don't get it fucked up, all facts. Like we're Puerto Ricans with gold teeth, gold chain, ready to get it popping. We're that kind of Puerto Rican. We're get money, bitches. There's not anything different than the island, but the island is they're freer. When you live in a place where if I kill you, by time they get lit, man, there'll be another shooting going down by time they get there. They live on a different law based system. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I don't think you've ever seen that. No. Them Philly dudes is tough. Yeah, they durable. Yeah, they of course. But they're American made. Them dudes out there, they like cartel made. Them real high top, man, they'll have you out in a yacht somewhere. You'll be fish bait. Fuck out of here. You're crazy if you were suggesting that. I'm just saying. Peop- People say that something about a fighter and a fan of that fighter takes as hey, yeah. They probably say the same thing about others fighters. Yeah, that's just fans. That's just fans. We're crazy. I think fans are always crazy. Well, you see, we get lost in the argument about the back and forth about our fighter. It's good shit talking. Like Mayweather, I paid attention to a lot of things he did. Mayweather would be like, yo, they say, Mayweather, how's the guy you're fighting? Great champion, good champion, great jab, very tough opponent. He would always give his opponent credit. Then when like the boxing HBO 24/7 behind the scene in depth to the fighter, that's when the shit talking started for Mayweather. That's when it talks because he understood his performance. He understand the viewer at home, what they were seeing, what they wanted. Oscar was showing you, I got a chicken and a chicken coop. This is my favorite chicken. Mayweather was like, I want to hear about no goddamn chicken. I hear about a fight. America's made on controversy, money, pussy, controversy. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to hear about no goddamn chicken. Right? And Mayweather was right. He was right. And sometimes your fighter can get you to start shit talking because they winning. And you can get wrapped up in that, right? Like you're like, fuck that. Tank Davis is back, baby. You see Tank Davis all over social media. Tank Davis, the maniacs, right? They quickly jumped up and was like, "Oh, Tank's gonna fight me." He's arguing with Shakur. Bro, y'all been quiet, shelved all this time. Tank tweets, a couple tweets, and the Tank maniacs have awoken with social media. Right, right, right. So, I mean, that's boxing for you. We're in a sport driven by violence, and we paid to see it. We paid to see it. So it's like, you know, these fighters are criticized and they're a lot of us fans, we demand these fights. Why wouldn't we? Ain't we the ones paying for the tickets, the flights, the hotel rooms? If you're gonna get me to come out and fly out to you, then you better put on a good fight, right? If any fights I'm going out nowadays, it's gonna be a fighter I want to see. There's the one thing I suggest as a fighting fan, if you have a favorite fighter, save up to go see him. Make a jar, whatever your favorite fighter's name is, put it on the jar. The Bud jar, Terrence Crawford. Well, he's retired. He might come back. We never know, right? But whoever, Tank Davis or Abdullah Mason or Keith Talone, you take the name, put it on the jar, and every day take $2, $3, $5, and put it in the jar. Don't think about it. Don't ever crack that jar open or nothing. You save yourself up some money to go see your favorite fighter. I suggest you do that. I really do. Because one of the biggest things I regret doing is not going to watch Michael Jordan play in live. I was alive, a grown ass man during his entire career. I just thought Michael would always be there. I didn't think that young in his 13th season, whatever. I didn't think he was. I always thought I had time. And I never actually got to see him play live. I was like, fuck, man. Damn, never got to see MJ. I saw Tom Brady play live, yeah. I just went and saw Naoya Inoue. But that's what I'm talking about. If there's a fighter, man, you want to see, I never thought I was going to get to see Naoya Inoue. Bro, he came to Vegas. I was like, yeah. I was like, Zach, got that out the way. I was there. I seen him. You know what I'm saying? Yo, that was awesome. I was like, man, what an amazing night that night was. And I suggest that. I suggest that, maybe you don't listen to this guy and start gambling, put $100. Take that $100 and put it in the thing and get your ass to a fight that you want to see. You know what I mean? Save up and get that. That's what I do. With all the support and the super chats you guys sent, I take it, I invest it right back into the channel. Go out there and give us content and bring you guys with me. I'm there with you guys, and I hope I could bring that back with me and share it with you, these experiences. And I love the sport. I always admit this. I'm the definition of wasted talent. When I was younger, I was a pretty decent fighter myself, but unfortunately, you know, I didn't make all the right decisions in life, but I found a way to reinvent myself, bring back to boxing, share with, uh, have these experiences of meeting these men and women and athletes that hold these prestigious world titles. I was fortunate enough to hold the IBF when Cubiel had it in Puerto Rico on my birthday, June 14th. He put the belt in my hand. Yeah, I was holding it like this. I didn't take a picture because I was such in awe. And it didn't. I mean, I was holding it with two hands. I needed somebody else to take the picture of me. And and then he signed the Round One Sports Talk shirt I had and shit. Cool moments, man. You know, um, and this is why I do it. I do it. I cover the sport. I wanna meet these fighters. And as I talk about these fighters and learn more every video, every day I do this, I become more of a historian, more finding out the more the ins and outs. Even when I started doing this early, I saw boxing. Right now, I see boxing a different way. I've learned so much, what I thought some things were, what I forgot about certain things in boxing. Just because I boxed a little as an amateur, I still had to learn my shit. There's a lot of film I've watched for years, film study for years, and just learning what they're doing in there. The ins and outs of boxing, the beauty behind it. There's so much beauty in violence in boxing. A knockout never gets old. Never. That shit never gets old. And upsets are shocking. We just had Jojo Diaz go up against H2O, and Jojo Diaz came up short once again. I think that's like 9 consecutive losses. It could be really discouraging, man. Really discouraging. Thank you for the super chat, brother. Thank you. And got out with the 10 pace. My man. I'm just someone with the $10 super chat. Respect my brother. Investment for the future. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? And I thank you. And that money is always well invested, as you can see. YouTube don't pay me that kind of money. 43 cents every episode and shit. Believe me, I do this for the love of the game and I invest my own money. And anything you guys send to me my way, I have my separate card that my wife knows. It's a curse to use that money on anything else. I believe that shit. I use that money on anything else to buy a fucking soda, a Euro, or anything, I'll feel like a shitbag because that's round one's money, man. That goes for this, all this shit. and for traveling. Nah, bro. I believe it, bro. I believe if I keep working hard at this and I keep doing the right thing, man, and I keep like investing my money back into this, and I get a little bit here and there for my job, my girl and shit, and I'll set shit aside, plan for my moments. Yeah. And a lot of this shit came from a lot of support. My brother, people, the fans, everything. Yeah. Remember when I bought this with the money from the card that I showed you when I was in the store? I was like, this is for round one. We're going to buy the Ali doll. It'll be okay to buy because it's boxing. And I used it to buy, remember? Because I try to be honest with y'all, man. I just feel like if you're just upfront about shit, shit's going to work, man. It's going to work. And I think I can get this platform up, and one day hopefully be like respected as a voice in boxing, man. That's what I want to be. That's what I want to do, man. I want to be able, I got a lot of studying, a lot of growing to do in the sport still, you know, um, but I understand that. I'm a student. I'm a straight up student, man. I don't claim to know it all. No, I don't. No, I don't. But I ain't no fake. Not gonna sit here and be like, yeah, I know it. You know how those guys are. No, man, I bet my channel, my reputation. If I don't, they're trying too hard. To me, they come off fake. I just don't know how to be that way. I just be me, man, and I put everything out there. I don't claim to be a historian. I'm not a boxing coach. I never acted like I was. I'm just a guy with a boxing insight and a boxing eye, a concept for things, to figuring things out, explaining things and breaking it down. That's my skill. That's my skill. That's what I'm good at. And this YouTube shit was right up my alley. It was cool, and I'm a bit of creator. I'm a drawer anyway. Yeah, I can airbrush, sculpture. I've paint with oils and shit. So, you know what I'm saying? I got a little style. You know what I mean? At least, yeah, listen, I think so. Track my channel from the day I started. Tell me, did any of those guys have backgrounds or pictures on their walls? All of a sudden, all of them, one by one. You know what I mean? All the small channels, like not guys that had studios, of course, they had shit up. Okay, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about us, the little dudes. Bro, they were on 4 or 5 years before me. None of them dudes had backgrounds. They were doing that green screen shit, or they were just filming in their car or from their living room. None of them thought, give the people something to look at. Remember when I started my channel? I had one belt, that fucking UFC belt. Then I had the other belt. I kept buying things, trading it out. I was like, man, fuck UFC. But I didn't have anything else. So I got the money to get them bad boys in the IBO. And then like shit just started happening. And that's why I believe, I always felt like when you build things in good faith, good things will happen. I feel like not everything goes right for me. The mic fucks up. The audio effects won't work. I'm not the best, computer literate. I can barely see my messages. Can barely read them sometimes, and like all of it can be discouraging. The comments, what a person says, you just got to be built different. Can't let everything affect you. And it's tough. No one ever told me you were going to go through a Rolodex of emotions doing this. You'd go to sleep arguing in your head about a comment you heard that day. Nobody told me that. I had to figure that shit out, cut that off. Like, what? And realize that, the comments really don't mean shit. It only It only has the power that I give it. That's what a comment has. If I keep addressing it or if it's bad or whatever, comments are good, the good ones, whatever. I love them, yes, and I will address those because those are healthy ones for me. But every bad comment, everything I've ever read, everything I've, bro, I realize I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I realize that. You know what I mean? It's like, but I'm not. I'm not going to stay stuck on what people say and stuff that'll drive you crazy. You know, and sometimes I had a guy, I met a guy at a boxing match, and he was like, "Yo, I just want to apologize for that comment I said to you so many fucking years ago." And I'm looking at him, I'm saying to myself, "Bro, do you really think I hold on to? I don't remember what you said to me last show. I gotta move on to the next show. I'm sorry, but did you hold on to that all this like nah, like not for me. I if I did that, I'd fucking snap and have a meltdown every show, and and you know they'd ban my show. You gotta be smart. You gotta manage. You gotta know how to roll with the punches. And YouTube is a different world. It's a different monster altogether. The YouTube streets and the internet itself, like that shit is undefeated, man. You know what I'm saying? So like it's tough to do some of these things, but I explained all that for just in case someone that's interested in doing exactly what I'm doing. If you're thinking about it and everything, no one ever told me any of these things. These YouTube dudes, they didn't even want to fucking share links, phone numbers, nothing. Like, they won't help you. No one in this game is going to cheat you the sauce. They're all just going to sit back and watch you fail like they did because they're 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 too scared that you'll pass them. You'll pass them eventually. But it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter because you guys can see the show is fire. The show is straight fire. You know, look, this is what happens. This is what happens right
I
here.
wonder what Arsenio's doing right now. He probably at a wine and cheese party.
Damn, there's some good ass cheese.
They don't tell him how good the cheese is, he'll be mad.
How come you didn't tell me how good the cheese was? Motherfucker, good ass cheese, nigga. You looking at? I was surprised you bank looking motherfucker. You should have told me how good the cheese was.
I wonder what
Yo,
Arsenio's
I should
doing
have
right
told
now.
you guys how good the show was. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not warning you. Yo, what is he saying? You know, it pushes it should always push and motivate a person to be like in competition, right? And you want to know something to the be truthful, right? I'm flattered. I'm flattered, right? Because when people talk about you or try to bite your style or copy what you're doing or try to do what you're doing, I've always told everyone that any show I've ever hopped on, anybody that ever wanted to talk boxing or any platform I've ever been on, all I try to do is give a different perspective um, and to boost up the sport of boxing. My goal all the time, whether it's bringing controversy, saying something crazy, saying anything, it all goes back to the sport. You understand? So when I had people when I was going on their platforms, rubbing elbows, talking to other guys, giving difference of opinions, and guys would have me come on their show or they would come on mine, I always told them the same thing. I said to them, I don't have a problem with you coming on my show. Never do. I don't even have a problem with you coming on my show and asking people to subscribe to your channel. See, you can't control the people what they watch or who they see. If someone comes on your show and takes your subscribers with them or something, well, then he was better than you. You see, I tell these guys the same thing all the time. Brother, you can't imitate me. I am round one. We can go on your show. We can have a fire conversation. Me and you, right? Get views, everything. I leave. I'm not saying that your viewership's going to go down, but all I try to do is bring a different swagger to the thing. So I'm confident in what I am, who I am, the product I bring, the way I talk about boxing. I'm never worried about anybody else. Because at the end of the day, I'm not you and you're not me. You can be better than me. You could have been doing this a lot longer than me, have a bigger following, but guess what? We're both at on the same platform. So I got to there, at least. It's pretty damn good for me. So all I got to do is continue being who? Me. Not worried about you, or you. Because honestly, I'm thinking past all of you. I'm not, I've, the game for me was never to be better than you at this level. This is the amateurs for me. This is where I'm at, the amateurs. Not in the pros yet. I might fuck around and spar with pro guys. I might fuck around and know some top dudes. No, no. I know exactly where I'm at. I know exactly what I'm doing. And I know exactly where I'm going to leave these dudes. The goal is never to be successful than you right here. The goal is to leave you right there. That's the goal. Fight fans, thank you for tuning in here at Round One Sport TV. Always your host, Edwin. And where do all fights start?
Round one.
Round one. Thank you for tuning in. I hope I gave you something to watch, entertain. Maybe if you're at work or at the barbershop, wherever you're at. I hope you had a great time. Please don't forget to hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel. Become a Round One Sports Talk member. Help me support my journey as I go through this world of boxing. Try to meet these fighters and bring you content, live content. So thank you for supporting. Thank you to all the people that watched today. Leave it in the comments in the chat. Where are you watching? What city you watching from? Well, rep your city. Let me know where you're watching from. You know, what state, what country. You know, how far, you know, of a fan or Chad's, you know, the long arm of Round One Sports Talk. How far does it reach? You know, I want to see. You know, do I have any Russian fans and shit that are actually like in Russia and shit? Come on, come on. I want to know. I want to know. I want to know. So, fight fans, listen. Have a blessed day. Happy Father's Day. And I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round One Sports Talk. You guys have been amazing. Peace.